Hi guys. I just wanted to do a quick little review of that little flight that I was in last night from Chicago to LaGuardia. It was really kind of cool in the way that it seemed to me that there was a lot of hand flying. I think almost everybody I saw was hand flying, which is kind of nice, except for GFC. GFC never fully does a flight. He's always spawning, doing stupid stuff. But it was kind of cool to fly with Featherway, controlling my speed, controlling everything, and seeing him and Alex do the same and others is kind of cool. And the scenes I could have gotten were amazing, but I didn't bother recording. I see nobody else does either. I wonder why. You know, for the first few years when Aiden and I did all those videos, and we did them often, quite often, almost daily, I did that for the most part just for him, because I know how much he had to be in every one of my videos. Which is why when he left GPG, the original GPG, he knew what he was doing, and so did everybody else. But I'm not going to dwell on that right now. But if Aiden, if you and all those other guys, if you all think I'm sitting here jealous or bummed out because you guys are doing it all and you got that server and all that other crap, you're wrong, because I'm actually enjoying what I do now in a lot of ways. The only reason I got my server now is just in case, you know, someone comes along, I can fly with whoever, and my channel. This channel is just for whatever goes up there, including this stuff. So I'm going to continue to call why those guys don't want me in that server, and it's mainly because, well, like I said, once Aiden left, he knew what he was doing. He wanted to be away from me for his own reasons that he never told me until recently, which was unclear, brutal, ridiculous, you name it. It was unreal. But GFC had wanted a community where he created all this rules, all the security, all this stuff. Yeah, he did a great job organizing whatever in the GeoFS community in a server. Good. But I think that turns a lot of people off in a lot of ways, especially the signing up process and all this other stuff, all these rules, all this madness. But the real reason they don't want me around is because they know that if I got in there, they know I like to talk truth. They know that I like to speak my mind. And it's not to hurt anybody. It's not to bring anybody down. They know that too. It's to discuss the truth. When people ask me questions, I like to give them honest answers. And people do have questions all the time. I noticed it when they joined my server. Alex had questions. Caesar had questions. All these people had questions. Legit questions. And I answered them. And then, you know, you see what happens from there. So people ask me questions. I give them answers. Then things get crazy. People are confused. They don't know the truth. They stay with my server because they're told to, or they've heard this, that, whatever from whoever. So why is there no discussion allowed there? That's why GFC's banning people anytime my name gets brought up, or anything that's just anything involving me. You know, he has a problem with them. He bans them. It's because, like I said, he doesn't want me there, because he knows that I'll get engaged with a lot of these newer pilots, and they'll start to wonder why I wasn't there all along. What's been going on here? Why is GFC this way? Why is Aiden doing this? You name it. I'd be in them voice channels. I'd be doing flights. I'd be doing live streams, and these people would get turned on by that, or many of them who used to like being recorded. The newer pilots who've never been recorded would probably enjoy that. They know these things. These guys know these things, and they don't want me around. And, you know, Featherway always used to say, you know, we can't have Kevin around because, you know, he'll be nothing but trouble. He'll be nothing but trouble. But the trouble is, all of those four guys, at least, that have never been willing to admit their problems. I mean, their wrongs in this, and their contributions to all this. And I'm not letting that slide. That's my main reason for carrying on with all this. I'm not letting that slide. And Aiden knows why. He absolutely knows why. And I don't care what he's doing back there. He's probably, his main job there is probably keeping track of these thousands of hours of flights that you guys do, the speed birds of the GeoFS events community, where all they do is fly while they're doing whatever, and they call that flying. I got thousands of hours too, and it's nothing but flying. I got to get new joysticks every year just from overuse. I fly and land, take off, land, everything I do. Last night's flight, I never left this seat. That's flying, guys. You guys who fly, Aiden gets these thousands of hours of flights, and it's... Where's the videos? Where's the GeoFS multiplayer videos that people enjoyed, that showed it, that showed what we can do and shows what all these other pilots can do? And I know there were a lot of pilots who enjoyed doing that. Nobody can do it the way I could, and I hate to say that. I wish there were others that could. I really do. But it's just not there. And Aiden knew when he left what he was doing. He knew he was destroying a very beautiful thing what we had going. He was just afraid to do it correctly. And ever since then, and everything that's happened to me as a result, is the reason you're seeing all this today. And that's the hard truth, guys. That's it. I mean, I'll keep flying the way I do, and I'll have fun the way I do with all you guys, including with like that flight last night. I will see you around, guys.